Sometimes I think the process of writing is not terribly different than the process of being psychotic. You know.
George, good to see you.
Winter's coming. The website.
Yes.
Okay.
Winter is coming.
You're here on the red carpet.
Yes, we are.
You people have come of age.
We're trying to stay with the times and keep up with you, you know.
Right, that's amazing.
Obviously, the burning question for all our viewers out there and readers, when can we expect another book from you?
Well, another book is going to take a while. I mean, I'm working on The Winds of Winter, but it's going to be another gigantic book, 1,500 pages. So, I don't know. I hesitate to make predictions because I've always been wrong, but don't expect it next week.
Okay, we won't hold our breaths. We've been told that this season might be the biggest departure from your books yet. Would you agree with that?
Until next season, I think. I've said this from the beginning. There's a certain domino effect that takes into place, you know. And every time you make a change, it requires you to make another change later on, and maybe a third change, and the changes accumulate. So very minor changes to the first season are going to require a bigger change to the second season, and so forth. And it does push it away for the books, but I think the spirit is still the same. I think it's still my story. You know, some of the details are going to vary inevitably, and of course we already have the biggest cast in television, but we can't possibly afford to cast all of the hundreds of characters, major and minor, who are in the books. So you have to cut characters, you have to combine characters, and all of that stuff. So there will be some characters missing, and I know some of the real pure keep the faith fans will be upset by that because, where's this character? We loved him. Where's that other character? But that's just part of the process, and I don't think you're going to escape that.
Do you pay attention to the fan fiction that's out there on the message boards, and do you have any theories that are perhaps a favorite?
I try to avoid the message boards for the most part. I don't want to be influenced by them, and I'm against fan fiction. I've said people shouldn't write fan fiction. I know some people are doing it anyway. I would prefer not to know about it. What they would do out of my sight is their business, but don't rub my nose in it by sending me links to your site, which is probably of dubious legality anyway. So. I love the fact that people love the characters and that they're invested in the characters and all that, but it's still my story, so I feel a certain possessiveness about it. I don't want other people telling it here.
Now, I've heard that Tyrion, I know it's hard for you to pick a favorite character because they're all your children, but I've heard that Tyrion might be at the top of your list, somewhere at the top. Has that changed, or is he still pretty much up there?
No, I love all the characters, but Tyrion has always been my favorite, yeah. He's you're not supposed to have a favorite child if you're a parent, but all the parents I know really do. They just never speak of it. So, yeah. But I love them all. I mean, even the bad guys, even the characters who are flawed or maybe evil or not as bright as they could be, you know. When I'm writing about them, particularly the viewpoint characters, I'm inside their skin, I'm inside their head, I'm looking at the world through their eyes. It's hard not to develop a certain amount of affection for them.
Who do you think is the most misunderstood character?
The most misunderstood character? Oh boy, I don't know. Maybe Melisandre. I don't know. Most of the viewpoint characters are maybe Varys. Most of the viewpoint characters are fairly well understood because I take you inside their heads. Some of the characters you're just seeing from the outside, you may not have a good sense of because, we don't know what's in someone's mind and heart unless we open that door.
I sort of tend to think that Jaime Lannister is one of the most misunderstood characters. I absolutely love him, and I feel like everything he does is for love. He's just a hopeless romantic. So I hope audiences will get to see that side of him that I see.
Well, it will be interesting to see how audiences react to what Jaime goes through this season. Have you interviewed Nikolai yet? Has he been through here? Okay. I'm sure he'll be in the line here. And Brienne, has Gwendolyn been through yet? I don't know.
She has not, but she will definitely be on my eye level, which will be exciting.
She is amazing. She's an amazing actress. I met her for the first time last night at our cast dinner, so that was great.
Really? You just met her for the first time? Is there anyone else that you hadn't met before?
Yes, a number of people. Natalie Dormer, Charles Dance, Aidan Gillen. All of them I just met for the first time last night. Sybil K. Kelly was amazing. Yeah. So I visit the set when I can, but the books are very time consuming, and I have all these conventions and other appearances that I scheduled like 5 years ago. So sometimes it's very hard to just drop everything and fly to Belfast in order to meet people. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Must be the life. One last question for you. Take me into your world when you sit down to write. Is there anything that you need to have nearby? Any light settings that you typically have? Like, what gets you in the zone?
I don't know. Kind of being in the zone gets me in the zone. When I've been away from it for a while, it's hard to get back into it. That first day after a trip or after I've been working on something else, when I return to Westeros, I get very little done. I have to kind of force myself to it, but maybe I get a little done, and then the next day I get a little more. And at a certain point, I'm into it, and then it just takes me over. Then I can't get back to real life. Then I'm working there for long hours each day. I'm working into night. I go to bed, I toss and turn, and the scenes and the characters are in my head before I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning, they're still in my head. I get across, I go right back to it. But then if I go away for any period of time, that fades, and it's like now I'm in real life again. So sometimes I think the process of writing is not terribly different than the process of being psychotic. I mean, like
It's a beautiful, crazy Mr. Martin, I have to tell you.
Phoenix, I hear voices in my head, and I write down what they say.
Whose voice do you hear most often?
Whoever I'm writing about. I mean, it's another thing when I switch from one character to another. That's always a bump, If I'm writing like 3 Tyrion chapters, and now I decided I have to write a Daenerys chapter, that's a jolt. That's hard because it's a different voice. I have to reread the Daenerys chapter. Where was I? Okay, what does she sound like? Okay, this is how she sees the world. Then I get back into it.
Well, I've held you for way too long, but I could talk to you all day. It was great meeting you.
Great to see you.